The cheese strudel, sold out every Sunday in my bakery. The ultimate breakfast pastry that doubles as a dessert. Flaky layers of puff pastry and sweet cheese filling. Add some warm berry compote and you have yourself a delicious dessert. It is really simple to make. I have my vegan cream cheese already in my mixer bowl, and I'm going to sift some confectioner's sugar and cornstarch right into the cream cheese. So I'm just folding that in, and I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract and some melted vegan butter. So this is going to be the filling for our cheese strudel. And again, vegan cream cheese is a little bit more difficult to work with, so we do have to treat it a little bit differently. And rather than putting this cheese filling directly into the puff pastry, we have to freeze it first. You could see how the vegan cream cheese is really so loose compared to the cream cheese in our past lives. So I've worked out a little trick, and just by putting this into a loaf pan, I could freeze this filling and then pop it right into the puff pastry, pop it in the oven, and that's it. So Pepperidge Farm puff pastry happens to be accidentally vegan, and one package comes with 2 sheets of dough. We're only going to be using 1 sheet for this cheese strudel, and I've already unfolded it. Now the cool thing about the frozen sheets is that where the crease was in the box, it gives you really a perfect guide as to where we're going to be placing the cheese, and then also marking our little strips, which is going to be the crisscross that nestles that sweet cheese filling inside this pastry. So I'm just taking a pastry wheel and I'm cutting on the diagonal on each side flap. The center dough stays intact. Now, back in the old days of the bakery, when we would make apple strudel especially, we would always put a portion of, actually it was breadcrumbs, but today I'm using some toasted cake crumbs that I had left over from another project. And the whole purpose of that is because when you have a soft, sometimes liquidy filling on top of a puff pastry dough like this, you don't want that soft filling to make the dough soggy. So this is a bit of a barrier, a delicious barrier I should say, for when we put the cheese filling on top. So my cheese filling has been in the freezer for just about an hour. I wouldn't want to freeze it much longer than that because I don't want it to be rock solid. I also have my oven preheating to 400 degrees, and that's a really important temperature to take notice of because puff pastry only will rise at a high temperature like that. And so if you have an air fryer, this is a perfect recipe to bake in an air fryer. I am using the convection oven setting on my oven, but if you don't have that, it's totally fine to just use the regular conventional oven, but definitely be sure that it's at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm using Just Egg as my egg wash for this pastry, but you could use any egg wash that you like the best. I've used aquafaba mixed with a little bit of sugar in the past, and that works equally beautifully. So I've just brushed some egg wash onto my pastry strips, and now we're just going to start crisscross. A little bit of granulated sugar to give it a nice caramelized color on top. And into the oven we go. Now look at this beautiful pastry. Nice and crispy on the outside. Now I can't cut it as much as I want to. We have to let this cool so that the cheesecake filling inside could set. But in the meantime, I have made up some of my famous cranberry compote to go on as a topping for this cheese strudel. Alternatively, if you don't like cranberry, my famous apple pie filling is a perfect combination for this pastry. And why stop there? I've also gone ahead and made up a blueberry compote because I just can't decide which way I'm going to like this one better. So which way would you go? Would you just keep it simple and serve this cheese strudel all by itself as a breakfast pastry? Or would you dress it up with one of these berry compotes? Comment below and let me know if you are going to try this recipe, and let me know how you would love to eat this pastry the most. As always, head over to Gretchen'sVeganBakery.com to grab all the recipes. And until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.